All right, guys, just doing a quick head-to-head comparison of the Jura ENA Micro 9 and the DeLonghi Magnifica XS, also I believe called the Ecamm. Wanted to see very similar machines size-wise and feature-wise, but proof's in the pudding. Which one makes better coffee? So a couple things to note here. The ENA Micro 9 has a really nice LCD readout on the top that gives you lots of information. It's also pretty smart. It it tells you a number of different things. It's always giving you some sort of information with that LCD readout, whether it's if it needs to be cleaned or if you need to empty or add water or whatnot, versus the Magnifica. It does not have an LCD readout, but everything's done with just indicator lights. So, but I'm going to do just a shot for each one of them. We'll see how they operate and then compare the flavor, just a personal flavor comparison, and then we'll go from there. First off is the ENA Micro 9. I'm going to press the espresso button. It's going to grind. I will note it is slightly quieter from the grind perspective, and it has a pre-brew that happens there. Not a bad shot of espresso. And then let's give the Magnifica a chance to show its skills. Quite a bit louder from a grind perspective. And then the pump is actually a bit quieter. And it has two spouts, and we don't get nearly as much of the pre-brew effect coming through. Using the exact same beans, both on a near fine grind, fairly fine grind. But I'll tell you what, the main thing to note here is that the DeLonghi has a much higher brew temperature, almost by about 10 degrees. Both espressos are nice, but I'm going to tell you what, we are sticking with the DeLonghi. It makes a much smoother, richer, more flavorful espresso versus the Jura. The Jura, for whatever reason, and I believe it's mainly brew temp, but it will also find that the pucks of the within the Magnifica are much more compacted. And when you knock them out, they're actually whole pucks, and the Juras actually fall apart quite a bit. So side by side, if I have to choose based purely on flavor of coffee and what is coming out of the machine, I'm going to choose the Magnifica, the DeLonghi Magnifica every time. It's considerably better coffee. Aside from the aesthetics, which I think are fairly similar, Jura is definitely cleaner, a bit more modern. If you are thinking about one of these machines and it matters to you about the coffee and less, about maybe aesthetics, I definitely go for the DeLonghi model, because the DeLonghi just puts out a better cup of espresso. So that's it. Hope this was helpful, and enjoy your espresso. Take care. Bye-bye.